real quick, you're going to realize that this is on Nuke. And Team 1 are very, very good on Nuke. I was actually taking a gander at their past results, and while HLTV says that they only have a 50% win rate in the past 10 maps, it's important to remember the level of competition that they're up against. They lost it to Cloud9 in a close 14-16. They lost in a slightly more dominant fashion to Furia, I believe it was. And then they've also lost to Chaos and Triumph in the past. But those are like really high echelon teams. I mean, teams that you're going to be seeing striking, maybe taking off maps off of some of the big dogs in CS. So the fact that Team 1 can at least make some notable results and are basically flawless when it comes to MDL caliber teams, a 16-4 victory I believe they had just a couple of days back. I mean, this basically spells a good omen for Team 1. So they're even going to win the knife round to go along with it. And finally, we get into the first round of play. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Again, my name is Ito if you're just joining. And this should be an interesting game. Again, I feel like there is a decent chance for the side of ETHEREAL to actually make a dent and be a little bit promising against Team 1. But on paper, I do have to give the edge to the Brazilians. ETHEREAL. As we enter this first pistol, we'll just be walking in lobby, setting it for a couple of nades. You see Powers actually has that HE set over to bust out Squeaky. But it's not going to be event drop, as you see so many times whenever that HE, that set piece is thrown out here. They're just going to try to burst out onto the site itself here, finding pretty decent results so far, made even better after Hate gets that one kill. KMZ chimes in with a kill of his own. 2v2 is what it's down to, but the bomb hasn't gone down. It becomes incredibly more difficult for ETHEREAL to actually close out this round because of it. Hate hiding behind those second vents will actually lose his comrade in arms here, and well, he's not going to do much better against the other two members of Team 1. So Team 1 will lead, take the charge. A 1-0 start for them is pretty good, but it's fine. I mean, not getting the bomb down is probably the biggest problem for them, even if ETHEREAL managed to lose out that round. But if they got the C4, you could have seen something a little bit more convincing come through. Forced pistols into the second, sort of what you would expect. A nice HE stack from the two members of Team 1, and it doesn't seem like they actually want to try pushing their luck actually going outside, and it's probably the smart move to make. Nice little flashbang in from Pesa allows him to get one free kill, but at the cost of losing his teammate once more. Not much really to write home about regarding this round. It should just be a nice little cleanup from Team 1. Not even having to use that much utility at that, so it's good looks all the way through. PRT somehow closes it out with a USP. He has a Nova, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be trying to hunt for a kill. Ren's not going to give him the time of day. There you have it. Team 1 get the expected 2-0 start. And thing is, the money actually isn't too fantastic for the T side here. They're going to be trying to force up AKs, but you're probably going to see a couple of Galils on the board or not. Wow. Interesting. They're going to be going for a very dry approach, as you can see here. Two players with a set of util. Team 1 kind of treating this one as a bonus. I understand it, ETHEREAL, why they're going to be trying to go for this method here, because Team 1, although they're pretty sick with util here, you don't exactly have the best guns to actually fire back. I mean, that Nova on PRT, I'm not sure how much work it can expect it to do. But it's no matter. Team 1 are constantly impressing. It's a gamble for sure, don't get me wrong. ETHEREAL are definitely kind of playing with fire at the moment here, but they're just looking not to get burned. And as that Molotov goes out, it makes the pun even more, I guess, succinct. Powers is going to burn down to about 78 points of health. Ren's on 43, not doing too great. But there's a couple of bullets making things a little bit more awkward for Team 1. KMZ actually gets taken down first. And actually Powers is looking for that second kill, but Mobs will make Powers a little bit mauled and catch him on the cross. Team 1 on the back foot at the moment here. And actually I was going to say they have a chance to get back into it, but with that kill being secured onto Pesa, I'm not quite sure if I can say that anymore. PRT, sure, you get a nice little 1-deke. That's going to look nice for your dot clip, but when it comes to actual control that they have, it's pretty minimal. This is a fight. That Cobra, I'm not sure if he should be taking. I think he realizes that. Will back off the angle. Mobs, now will be his time to start pushing in. He gets a double, and that's huge. That actually makes it a little bit more possible for Team 1 to strike back, but I think Ren's won't let that happen. A 2K of his own. Shows Mobs that anything he can do, Ren's can do better. Cute little play from Renz right there. Hiding perfectly in heaven. Kind of made Malb second guess where he can actually be. But, you know, he had the right idea. HEing towards heaven there. It's just, you know, caught with his pants down, basically. But a 1v2 is going to be a very welcome sight for Team ETHEREAL, because they're going to try to make this up into something a little bit more here. The money isn't fantastic for either team at the moment, so this is really going to help decide the early game for who's going to be able to take a dominant lead. Not even dominant, just a slight lead at this point here. ETHEREAL, they're dropping a couple of guns, so, I mean, the money still might be in shambles, even if they do somehow manage to win this one out, which, let's be real here, it doesn't seem exactly likely. 2v3. Renz tagged down a little bit, puts him within one-shot range of those M4s and AUGs that are on the table. And this is kind of the scary fire, again, that you play with when you're up against a team like Team 1. But at least they get that C4 down. That gives them a little bit more money and a little bit more of a chance. No more utility. So you have to be incredibly afraid. Team 1, they're going to be gathering up over towards ramp here. They have util to work with here. Multiple flashbangs, so they can go ahead and just light up the night sky. But Renz holds a critical position here. He's going to need to go massive here. But considering the fact that he's already spotted out, I don't think Team 1 are going to let him get away with anything. There's one flashbang. The second one won't even have to be expended. Get on that C4 now and basically no chance. Wait, are they on bomb? Oh my, they're on bomb. Okay. ETHEREAL win the round. All right, we take this. I was gonna say, like, Mobs had a kit there. I don't know why he wasn't on bomb. First off, I think Team 1 still could have gotten it. But hey, we take those. Yo, what's up, Boggs? How you doing, man? Feels like it's been forever since I've seen you stop by. 1-2 egotistical. Yeah, they gave up that round. And they're giving up a little bit of money as a result here. It's not exactly the biggest deal in the world. Team 1, they still have a pretty hardy buy to work with. They managed to save 3 guns. But Pesa, I'm a little bit concerned. Shots. He gets a free opportunity at a kill, but he can't capitalize upon the opportunity. At least Maluk is able to do a little bit better. Nice double from him. One of the higher rated players on Team 1 at the moment. He has been a superstar in basically every team that he's shown up on, and this is exactly why you triple in this. Forcing another dub for his team, trying to get to that 3-2 scoreline, and we're only 2 kills away from doing it. I'm hoping to see some sort of ace come out from him. That would just really be for the storytell, if nothing else. Regardless, ETHEREAL, they're not holding strong, but they're kind of hanging in there. If they can force a frag onto the exposed Maluk, perhaps there's a chance. They have a little bit of utility to work with, but Maluk is in a pretty sneaky position. Smoke down mini. Could this actually be a full wraparound CT and trying to get into heaven? This is incredibly risky, whatever they're going to do. Maluk, he's going to be ready for whatever happens. That's 4 kills. He's looking for number 5 here to collect the ace and collect a nice little dot clip. Again, that he can go ahead and feature on his profile here. He's so close to doing it, and there it is. Walking right into the shot will be Renz. And a 3-2 scoreline for Team 1. As Maluk doesn't stay true to his team name. He gets all 5. I just realized, Boggs, you said imagine not being on Ito isn't casting. Look, dude. That's a specially reserved channel. Well, taking the lead once more despite fumbling on that round and just not going for the defuse, losing a 3v0. ETHEREAL aren't exactly looking good as they have a pretty lackluster buy. A couple of upgrade pistols, 2 smokes, and a couple of flashes. It's not too shabby, but I'm just, a little bit concerned about what happens after they get past ramp. If they even will make it that far, it's proven to be a bit of a challenge. They'll overcome eventually, though. KMZ goes huge, gets 2. But I'm not going to get excited yet because I know there are so many opportunities for Team 1 to probably end it right here, right now. Keep in mind, Pesa, he's just going ahead and holding it down over towards Secret. He's going to be able to find both kills. Cobra, nowhere to be found. I'll just go down like the rest of his team. Dropping it up once more. At least this time it wasn't stolen away from their buy. The money, again, to borrow a word from a different caster. It's pretty shambolic, excuse me, at the moment. That word just did not want to be uttered. Right now it's an utter disaster. Shambolic. Team 1. I mean, I don't think there's, again, all too much depth you can try to take away from this round here. It should just kind of be a stomp from Team 1. They have everything going their way at the moment here. Maluk, maybe I was keeping an eye on the wrong player. I thought there would be a massacre outside, but it seems to be happening over towards ramp. Maluk, I'm able to catch those last couple of kills, and I sincerely regret not being able to catch the first two if they're all that beautiful. Everybody is getting their just desserts in on the Team 1 side, as Maluk is already up to double digits. 11 kills for the man. But this is where ETHEREAL can start fighting back a little bit more. Again, you know, as I say that, I have to fully remember that Team 1, on paper, they should be taking this game and they should be completely dominant while they do, excuse me. Their past results in just this MDL season have been pretty crazy. Incredibly one-sided, or one-pointed. Perhaps if we want to go ahead and look at the Ren's factor, he's down to basically nothing. He's on life support at the moment, hoping for an in back into this round. But let's be honest here. Let's not try to doubt ourselves. ETHEREAL, they don't have any ground to stand on at the moment. It's crumbling underneath them, what they are on. Ren's, what can you expect him to do with only a single point of health? A stray flashbang just hitting him could take him out. Cobra and KMZ both not quite in power positions either, but Cobra's kind of close to that sniffing distance. Now we wait. They can burn the clock down as much as they want to, ETHEREAL. They have the bomb in their possession. They're going to be tossing a flash in. This could actually be good. Look for Cobra to actually peek in right behind it here. He spotted. That flashbang goes through, but Cobra, despite Pesa, I don't even think being blinded, shows up in the kill feed, but I didn't see the hand over his face. He's going to be able to find that kill, but that's all he's going to find. And Team 1 will clean it up. It takes a little while. It has you kind of thinking on your toes, but Team 1 don't have to budge their defense an inch. Because they know, again, ETHEREAL, they don't have anything to stand on. And considering that was a rifle round, ETHEREAL, I mean, they were basically kind of matching their pistol performance right there. Lots of smokes this time. ETHEREAL. I like how they're being well aware of their util usage, even on these rounds that you might consider a throwaway. That Team 1 are more than happy just to try to do away with. Oh, Pesa, the timing. I think he actually hears that footstep, which marks him to go back. Pesa, how? How do you get those? I just don't understand. It feels like Hay just walked right back into that. These are eco kills. I'm not going to try to get all too excited about these, but just the sheer absurdity. How Pesa was able to spray down both kills, I don't quite know. We take those. We gladly will take those. PRT will snatch away one more as Ren's joins the Fallen. KMZ will be marked up as well. ETHEREAL not getting much groundwork done here. From the start, I mean, Team 1 are just winning some of these insane duels, I was going to say. But this time, there's actually a little bit more of a hesitation when it comes to against Cobra. Surely they're not going to give up number 3, but they do. Maybe now's the time that I should start getting a little bit more excited. It's a 1v5, but Cobra has actually made this into a bit of a possible scenario. Barton and Maluk are on completely different sides of the map than where Cobra is currently occupying, but the time is starting to run low. Cobra has a smoke, has double flashes, has the C4. This is everything that a clutcher could ever hope for. But perhaps a kill won't go his way. He spots a player, Barton, but he needs to get the C4 down immediately. No more time left to work with here. He's going to need to try to force another fight here. He ran out of AK ammo, and he's trying to finish the job with a deagle. But Barton, he won't let that one slip away. The defuse is stolen, but the round most certainly is not. Cobra, you had me thinking for a second. I was about ready to do away with that round entirely, but they at least gave ETHEREAL a decent fighting shot. 2-7 still as we go ahead and try to look at the big picture. Not the best result, but I mean, at least ETHEREAL are going to have a little bit more to work with at the moment. You see KMZ with that AWP. That's not something I'm sure if they could have gotten if Cobra didn't get that triple kill earlier. Still, though, their chances of winning this map are slim to none, but this is where, you know, storylines can happen. Both teams have well deserved their spot in MDL, but Team 1 have just been on a tear. 7-0 at the moment here. I believe the same record as New England Whalers, if I'm correct. But ETHEREAL aren't far behind. They're 5th place. They've also been on a tear equally as much, only losing to Rebirth in recent history. But enough with storylines. Let's get back to the actual fragging. Pesa opens things up here. Nice little flashbang assist from his teammate, but ETHEREAL, they're still looking for some early ground to try to step. And maybe make ETHEREAL, or excuse me, Team 1 a little bit more uncomfortable. An exec on the tape, or on the cards. KMZ. I'll send a smoke over towards Mini here, but PRT is really the player that I'm more worried about. More concerned about. They dropped the bomb, they dropped their ball, they dropped their chances to practically 0% of winning this round. Cobra, you're in another 1v5, but maybe if you had a deagle, you can make that a little bit more convincing. Team 1 are relentless at the moment. It's always hard casting one-sided games like this, but hey, that's just kind of the nature of how Team 1 have been this entire season. They have been just delivering one-sided game after one-sided game where it's just hard to kind of deny the impact that they're making on MDL at the moment. But it's fine. ETHEREAL, again, now's their chance to try to get something on the table. Yop out from Maluk, just sitting over towards CT spawn. You see Team 1 are not exactly switching up their approach all too much here. They're still giving a lot of respect over towards outside. Keeping the player almost permanently in Mini, one over towards CT. That's easy quick rotates over towards the A site, which ETHEREAL have been kind of banging on the door of as of recent. I believe I didn't catch it, but yeah, there it is. A boost over from mobs too. They're switching up the ramp positions because of how long this has been taking. ETHEREAL have just sat on all this map control trying to burn away some of that utility. But what do they have to show for it? Well, a little less ammo and probably a death. There is spam onto PRT, but those flashbangs are so strong from Team 1 that I actually was considering for a point that they would have gotten out unscathed. It's not quite the case. Team 1 have lost a player. They're actually looking to lose another too, as Hate comes in late on the flank here, just walks right on through. But Barton is the player that I should be keeping an eye on. He finds 2, and we're back into a relatively even situation. It's all going to be on Maluk to try to close this distance, to try to make this a little bit more convincing. Oh, but he's going for the backstab. He's going to try to be the American Ninja Warrior, but maybe he's a Brazilian Ninja Warrior. He finds both kills, and over towards Heaven, Hate will try to occupy, do an American Ninja Warrior impression of his own, but it's not going to happen. Team 1, they get away with a round once more. Mobs steals away all the glory towards the end of it, but that was nothing short of a heroic play from Maluk. Both kills with the op secured the bag. Unbelievable sights on the A site. Again, this is what I'm talking about, how some of these rounds are close to being pretty juicy. But we're just not quite within that striking distance. KMZ, I should also say, gets that first kill and actually nearly had the spam angle right onto Pesa. Oh, now he's actually way more on the mark. The trades are through. This round is moving blisteringly quick that, honestly, I'm surprised that ETHEREAL are getting away with it so much. Much more aggro approach to it. Sometimes ETHEREAL just to say, screw it. Actually trying to use heavy util here. I mean, think about how many times you saw that wall of smokes go down. To lackluster results. ETHEREAL, okay, they can just go ahead and snatch away a crazy round like that and make it 9-3. No rhyme or reason, it felt like, to that one. Other than finally a couple of duels going their way. Some less than optimal pushes, I think is fair also. to mark onto the Team 1 side. I think Team 1 are going to be a little bit more cautious about actually pushing towards ramp. See Pesa is located now in over to Secrets. Maluk opens things up once more, and again, that's what they get for actually trying to aggress over towards ramps. They're losing some of these fights here, and Ethereal are now trying to pounce upon it. It's middling results. Malbs is quick on the rotate. Like, before they're even able to get the bomb down, Malbs is already towards ramp. Powers doesn't even bother to check their back until they already lose one of their teammates, and as he tries to now move his way onto site, he'll just die immediately. Really is just a bad time for the Ethereal forces. Now, it's the same sort of approach that they tried to incorporate into that round right there, but that's generally a lot more of what you would expect. Well, it's 10-3. Not looking much better for Ethereal. At least they're able to get more AKs into the fight. Cobra is going to be the notable exception to that rule. The Desert Eagle. But I think Ethereal now have a couple of little points that they can start working with. Watch for those early pushes over towards ramp in particular. They're able to work them relatively well. But unfortunately, that's not quite the right direction that they want to try to aim for. And KMZ will get punished for all the trouble that he's tried to cause Team 1. You see now another rotate will be brought over towards that side. Heavy emphasis, because they realize the spam has been almost non-existent in recent times from Renz. It's most likely going to be a little bit of a outside stack. PRT, he's holding over towards those second vents, and I'm actually surprised that Ethereal have made this as convincing as it is. The rotates are on point from Team 1, but those fights certainly are not. At least they've been able to trade even so far. As we keep an eye on the bomb, realize that it is actually still sitting over towards Squeaky Door at the moment. Maluk will hear that call out from his teammate and now try to scope up appropriately and pincer in on the player coming in through Mini. The timing is right on point for him. His teammate in Heaven will be the second one to make contact, but it's actually the HE to finish the job. No third kill, but an opportunity perhaps for Malbs to snatch one away after having his kill stolen. Not much time remains. Cobra barely has enough time to actually get down to the B-bomb site. He's going to have to plant almost immediately, but he will. Malbs basically concedes the bomb plant, but I don't think he's going to concede the round. Blistering pace once more. Cobra! He's hairs away from being able to find that kill, but Malbs will snatch it away, and how many times am I going to say it? Team 1 will win the round. It's rough times for the Ethereal side. Still, it's just not getting better. It really goes to show you how close some of these rounds are actually getting to actually being a start for Ethereal. Like, I mean, look, I know that this is a CT-sided map, but it's starting to get ridiculous at this point. 11-4 is the best that the Ethereal forces can hope for. Maybe they'll actually have a good chance of it. Nice little one-way over towards Hut and Squeaky, I believe it was. It's going to go ahead and do them good for one kill. Team 1, they're not ones to sit down entirely. Perhaps they are when they're forced to do it. And once more, a fast pace is adopted from the Ethereal side. Working to good results. But not much better than Maluk, apparently. That is unbelievable how he actually just got away with that. But it's fine. It's still a 1v3. I don't see him winning this. I would bet my house on it. And there you are. I'm now a house richer. Barton with a 4K. I believe that was, or not 4K, a 2K. It's, I mean, still not able to make anything work out. Team 1. I mean, they give up a couple of rounds, but I'm far, far from being actually worried for those Brazilians. Again, their results kind of speak for themselves. They have such an insane record against all these MDL teams that, I mean, if they actually lose their first game to a team like Ethereal, who's kind of struggling to face off against some of the higher level teams, such as, well, obviously, as you see right here, Team 1, but also Rebirth, where they lost in triple OT, I believe, 20-22. Be a nice little upset for sure. It all starts on the pistol. Team 1, if they win it, they will be basically knocking on the door of victory. Boggs is already trying to get those Bog champs out because he knows that he's going to be rooting for the Canadian forces. Let's see if there's actually any notable results from that. Hate opens things up with a double. Surprised it actually made it that far. And for some reason my demo UI is showing up. That's wonderful. There you are. Go ahead and get rid of that sucker. And of course, as I'm doing that, Team 1 actually get 2 kills in response. Not too shabby, but not exactly enough to convince me that Team 1 can get their way back into it. A smoke actually for PRT makes it a little bit more convincing over towards mini. Going to be trying to go for a vent dive perhaps, or they're going to be, oh, pincering up over towards upper. Going all over the nuke map right now. I appreciate it. Smart little approach to it. But ETHEREAL shouldn't try to give it up right now. They don't have any kit to work with here. They have to be extra aware that they need to move quickly. And if they lose even a single fight here, they basically can go ahead and spell it as done. Team 1, they've lost a couple of fights, and now they're going to be the ones punished for their sins. I mean, I guess ETHEREAL take the round, but I'm still not fully sold. Team 1 actually had a pretty good number on how ETHEREAL wanted to play that. ETHEREAL will take 5. But I'm incredibly scared for what comes in the second round here. I wonder if we're going to be seeing the Brazilian buy. Yep, there you have it. Mac 10s. Don't think we're going to be seeing an AK, but you see Desert Eagle. Oh, never mind. Barton actually does buy up the AK. Pleasantly surprised. ETHEREAL, of course. They'll be buying up in spades. No reason that they shouldn't. They won the round. And I know that they're a fan of getting those M4s on the table. Again, what we saw in round number 3, where they basically got those third round AKs and just barely managed to squeak by. Nice little shot from Hate. Actually enables him to find that first kill, but he overstays his welcome. And unfortunately, Team 1 aren't the most inviting people in the world. They will take him down without any further hesitation, but kind of forcing the gauntlet onto themselves. ETHEREAL will be struggling against the firing range that is Team 1. They're losing every single fight. Sure, you see a blue and yellow stripe being made in the kill feed here, but overwhelmingly, Team 1 will again hold onto the space. Cobra, nowhere to be found, will try to fully walk rotate over towards ramp. However, this is far from a done deal. Cobra will have to move quick. There's no kits in play, but Team 1, they're not exactly doing great either. Mobs and PRT will combine for a total of 36 HP. There's a real chance for Cobra to impress, but it needs to happen basically now. There's first, but not the second. M4 will be retrieved, and Team 1 will go up to 12, excuse me. And I hate to say it, but that was my biggest concern. I was incredibly worried for a potential nightmare situation like this for ETHEREAL. Losing the pistol, or winning the pistol and then losing the follow-up. It basically money screws them for not the rest of this entire game, but damn how close to it. Little attack pause coming through. ETHEREAL. What's the right move? Lobby crunch, perhaps? I feel like a lobby crunch should be just too predictable at this point. Plus, they don't have a flash. They don't really have anything to make it all too convincing. My God, they're forcing up. This is a risky move. You can tell it was last second because Powers basically hesitated in spawn. He's like, shit, we're actually doing this? Okay. Shoot, let's do it. You see those early Molotovs are out to ward off any ETHEREAL members. Barton, I guess, walked into his own molly or something like that. Cobra is actually trying to make that lobby crunch prove to be true, but over on the other side of the map, directly beneath the ETHEREAL members, Team 1 have already planted the C4 and are in a very good spot to close it out. 3v2, no kit. Same story, different round for the ex-Polar Wraith squad. KMZ, oh man, he was just sitting, watching control room as well, but just bad timing. Oh, he ended up being the disaster. Ren's maybe looking for a little bit more economic damage. I mean, not going to be nearly enough. Brutalizing. There you have it, 13-5. ETHEREAL, because they forced up at the last second there, they're not going to have much to actually call theirs. A couple of upgrade pistols. Cobra trying to force a Nova dream to come true. We see Hate. It's a notable exception to all the players on ETHEREAL. He doesn't have an upgrade pistol. He doesn't have armor. He doesn't have util. He's completely naked. Malls will be setting up for, I believe, a flash in. Or I think, actually, wait, is that the molly for top hut? I think it is. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, pretty sure that is. Yep. I know my util. I've done my homework. And Cobra, I hope you've done your aim training with the Nova. Seems like that answer is a pretty resounding no. The pistols, all basically cannon fodder. Team 1 are just about done. I mean, what can you say about such a one-sided game like this? It really does become incredibly difficult to commentate at some points just because it feels like you're saying the same things over and over again. ETHEREAL, I don't feel like their general approach to this round is necessarily terrible. I think that they have a lot of the right ideas. Think about how many rounds were actually close, but just that Team 1 are too good. Util usage on point as well. You see how Cobra is basically forced to take that duel over towards the squeaky side, and while he didn't hit the vital shots that he needed to, it wasn't exactly wonderful either. Like in theory, Team 1 should be able just to stomp that out in a moment's notice. Any player who's still trying to lurk over towards hut. But they're ready for a lot of these opportunities. The lobby crunch that could have potentially happened on that first force completely stopped out by a couple of Molotovs tossed in by Team 1. I mean, they are really reading ETHEREAL like a book at the moment here, and that prowess is something that has really done a number on Team ETHEREAL. However, it's not done yet. There's still a chance for a comeback, but it's going to need to start exactly now. And that's a good place to start. Cobra gets that first kill, trying to deny any opportunity to flush out onto the A bomb site. But Team 1 will respond in kind with a UMP and an AK kill. Make it double for PRT. And it's double the trouble. Bomb is planted out lower, but ETHEREAL, they're none the wiser. They're going to try to retake A. Oh, they lack the critical information. They don't even need to get that far. Oh, Lord. They didn't even know. 15-5. Team 1 are just, again, they're insane at the moment. I wish I could have commentated the other game as well, because I feel like I'll be able to finish up the majority of that game with how quick this one is going. But I think there's already enough people commentating that one. Well, just basically walking into their own death at this point. Team 1 will even toss a nice little Molotov to make things a little bit harder for the ETHEREAL side. It's going to require a miracle, 1v5 from Powers, but it's not even going to get a fifth of the way there. And very quickly, we'll find our winners. Jeez. I mean, what's to say? I mean, at this point, it's just kind of absurd. Like, you just cannot beat such an insanely powerful team such as Team 1. There's a reason they're now 8-0 in MDL, and it's because a play like that, I mean, their util usage is on another level from a lot of different, from pretty much every MDL team now that I think about it. I haven't watched much of the EU MDL or Australian MDL, but at least on the NA side of things, those South Americans definitely know what's up. Those Brazilians, well, almost all Brazilians. Mobs, I think, is Guatemalan or Argentinian? I might be wrong. Let me go ahead and look that up real quick. Looks like he is Guatemalan. Okay, I got it right. First time's a charm. But that's going to go ahead and do it for me. A nice little quick game for my debut for MDL's next big caster. I'm going to be casting a lot more. This was just kind of a bit of a test run to see how everything would work out here. I appreciate whoever is watching, for watching. I'm not exactly sure how many people I can go ahead and boast about having on Twitter. Let me go ahead and see. Let me check on my stream numbers real quick. Screw it. Who cares? That's going to go ahead and do it for me. I appreciate you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please feel free to drop a follow on my Twitch or my Twitter. Both are at ETHEREAL, as you can see right down there. And I'm going to go ahead and have a nice little night. Go to the gym. Enjoy myself. Have a great one, and I hope you guys do too.